Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi expressed hope on Tuesday that the National-Palestinian dialogue hosted by Cairo would yield tangible results. The second round of the Palestinian National Dialogue started in Cairo on Tuesday with the participation of 15 political factions to discuss issues related to facilitating elections, which they agreed on holding it during the negotiations' first round in February. The negotiations, which held under Egyptian auspices, are discussing legal procedures of the electoral process and the political environmental of the electoral scene. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received a phone call from his Sri Lankan counterpart on Tuesday. During their telephone conversation, President el-Sisi expressed Egypt's keenness to intensify cooperation with Sri Lanka in various international fields, specifically in light of the bilateral historic relations, as well as Egypt's interest to enhance joint ties at the economic level and mutual investments. For his part, the Sri Lankan president expressed his country's pride to the distinguished relations that bind the two nations, expressing Sri Lanka's keenness to strengthening bilateral relations with Egypt in all fields. The Sri Lankan president affirmed his country's keenness to foster bilateral relations in various international forums, especially in light of the pioneering role that Egypt plays at the regional and international levels and its role, most notably in the field of combating terrorism and achieving security, stability and peace in the Middle East. The call also dealt with efforts to exchange experience between the two countries in various domains, including combating coronavirus pandemic, in addition to the fight against terrorism. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli gave his directives of quick presentation of the national projects for developing Egyptian family executive plan in the next cabinet meeting. Prior for the being presented before President el-Sisi to be launched, Madbouli made his directives during the meeting with Minister of Planning and Economic Development Hala Said to review the final edition of the plan. Minister Said explained that the project includes women economic empowerment facilities through providing job opportunities. She said her ministry would establish a governmental fund to provide incentives for families abiding by determinants of population growth. The House of Representatives resumed on Tuesday its plenary sessions headed by the Parliament Speaker, Councillor Hanafi Gebeli, to discuss the number of draft laws and reports concerning the specialized committees. During this session, the Parliament approved a number of decisions issued by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi regarding the agreements Egypt has signed with the countries and international institutions, including 2 agreements with the Kuwaiti Fund for Development. Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Dr. Ahmad al-Taib, on Tuesday said his institution attaches great interest to Arab and Muslim nations issues. During his meeting with the delegation of the religious endowments, ministers and mufti from Kazakhstan, Yemen, Comoros and Chad, who were visiting Cairo, al-Taib said Al-Azhar would do its best in supporting the Islamic nation's causes and meeting its needs for scholars and preachers. In a separate meeting, the Grand Imam received an official invitation from Minister of Religious Endowments in Iraq's Kurdistan province to visit the self-ruled province. Meanwhile, the Mufti of Republic, Dr. Shawki Alam, met with the Iraqi minister calling for a unified effort by global religious institutions to face terrorism, giving the importance of the intellectual confrontation to his threat. He praised the Iraqi Kurdistan province for its role in facing terrorism and such as Daesh. Sudanese Prime Minister Abdullah